This is it. The machine that refuses to believe growing up means slowing down. For years, the Dodge Durango has been the outlier, the muscle car hiding in an SUV's body. It's the answer to a question most families were afraid to even ask. But this is different. This is the 2025 Dodge Durango, and it's not just an update. It's a statement. It's Dodge throwing a Molotov cocktail directly into the sensible, beige world of the family crossover. 710 horsepower, 3 rows of seats. This is the 2025 Dodge Durango Hellcat, and it really makes you wonder, have we finally reached the point where your family SUV can be faster than a supercar? Is it actually possible to have a vehicle that can haul your kids to soccer practice on Saturday and then humiliate purpose-built sports cars at the drag strip on Sunday? That's the promise. A promise of zero compromise. Today, we're going to break down every single detail of this beast, from its fire-breathing engine to the surprisingly clever tech hidden inside. We'll dissect its design, crawl through every row of the interior, and unleash its fury on the road to find out if Dodge has truly created the one SUV to rule them all. Let's find out. Let's just stand back and look at it for a second. The 2025 Durango doesn't just have a presence. It has an aura. It commands space with an aggression that few other SUVs can even dream of. Dodge has taken the already muscular foundation of the previous generation and just cranked every single line, crease, and vent up to 11. Starting up front, the entire fascia is a statement of intent. The grille is wide, low, and menacing. It's not just an opening to feed air to the engine. It's a gaping maw that looks ready to eat the asphalt. Flanking it are the new, slimmer LED headlights. They have this intricate, technical look like a predator's eyes, giving the Durango a focused, angry stare that you'll instantly recognize in your rearview mirror. But the real story, especially on this SRT Hellcat, is the hood. This isn't just sheet metal. It's a sculpted work of art dedicated to performance. That central intake scoop isn't for show. It's a functional necessity, gulping down massive amounts of air to feed the beast underneath. It's flanked by 2 more heat extractors designed to pull scorching hot air out of the engine bay, a critical feature when you're dealing with the kind of power this thing is putting out. As we move along the side, you start to appreciate the Durango's sheer stance. This is a big vehicle, but it wears its size with an athletic tension. The character lines are sharper and more defined than before, creating a play of light and shadow that emphasizes the flared fenders. And those fenders are necessary to contain these massive wheels and tires. On the Hellcat, you get 20-inch wheels, and you can get them in various finishes, including the stunning lights out or brass monkey options. They're not just big for the sake of it. They provide a huge contact patch for grip and are designed to show off what's behind them. And what's behind them is some serious stopping power. We're talking about massive Brembo brakes, with 6-piston calipers up front clamping down on enormous 15.75-inch 2-piece rotors. To put that in perspective, those rotors are bigger than the wheels on a lot of economy cars. They're a crucial piece of the puzzle because controlling 710 horsepower is just as important as unleashing it. Stopping a nearly 5,600-pound SUV from high speed is a monumental task, and these brakes are more than up to the challenge. Following the body lines to the back, the design keeps delivering on that muscle car promise. There's a subtle but effective spoiler at the top of the tailgate, not for crazy aesthetics, but for managing airflow and providing stability at the triple-digit speeds this SUV can hit. The taillights are pure Dodge. The signature full-width racetrack LED design is back, but it's been refined, made crisper, and more modern. It creates an unmistakable light signature at night, a glowing red line that lets everyone behind you know they were just passed by something special. And then you look down. The rear is dominated by 2 massive, cannon-sized exhaust outlets. These aren't just decorative tips. They are real, functional, and they make a sound that can only be described as apocalyptic. They're the final punctuation mark on a design that screams performance from every angle. It's unapologetically bold, a perfect marriage of Charger-inspired muscle and 3-row SUV practicality. It tells you everything you need to know about this vehicle's dual personality before you even open the door. It looks like it could tow a boat and then win a race against the boat. And the most incredible part, it actually can. Opening the heavy, solid-feeling driver's door and sliding into the cabin of the 2025 Durango Hellcat is an experience in itself. You are immediately greeted by an environment that perfectly continues the story from the outside. This is a driver-focused, high-tech command center that just happens to have room for the whole family. Your hands immediately find the new flat-bottomed SRT steering wheel. It's thick, substantial, and wrapped in perforated leather. It feels less like it belongs in an SUV and more like it was pulled straight from a Challenger. The large, metallic paddle shifters mounted behind it have a satisfyingly crisp click, a tactile promise of the control you have over the 8-speed automatic transmission. Straight ahead is the fully digital driver display. It's bright, highly configurable, and puts all the critical info right in your line of sight. You can cycle through different layouts, prioritizing the tachometer for spirited driving or showing navigation for a long road trip. But the centerpiece of the whole dash is the 10.1-inch Uconnect 5 touchscreen. Dodge angled the screen 7 degrees toward the driver, which is a subtle but brilliant choice. It makes you feel like you're in a cockpit, not just a car. The system itself is fantastic. Uconnect has long been one of the best infotainment systems out there for its user-friendliness, and this latest version is faster and more customizable than ever. The graphics are sharp, menus are intuitive, and it supports wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, so you just get in and your phone connects seamlessly. On a normal Durango, this screen is your hub for navigation, climate, and music. But on the Hellcat, it's also your gateway to the SRT performance pages. This is where the true, nerdy performance nature of the car comes alive. You can pull up dozens of different screens to monitor every possible metric. There are G-force meters, real-time horsepower and torque graphs, and timers for 0 to 60 miles per hour, quarter mile, and braking distance. You can configure the drive modes from here, creating a custom setup that adjusts everything from transmission shift points and suspension stiffness to steering weight and all-wheel drive torque split. You can even activate launch control, set the RPM, and let the car's brain manage a perfect, brutal launch. It's an incredibly deep system that adds a whole other layer of interaction with the car. Looking around the rest of the cabin, the materials are a big step up. This model has beautiful Nappa leather seats with micro-suede inserts and embroidered SRT Hellcat logos. They aren't just for show. They're deeply bolstered to hold you in place during hard cornering, but they're also incredibly comfortable for long journeys. They're both heated and ventilated, a feature that extends to the second-row seats, too. The dash and door panels feature soft-touch materials, real carbon fiber accents, and contrast stitching that ties the whole performance theme together. It feels premium, solid, and purpose-built. The center console is wide and functional. Below the screen, you've got a row of physical buttons and knobs for critical climate and audio controls, which is a blessing. As great as touchscreens are, sometimes you just want to grab a dial without taking your eyes off the road. The main gear selector is a traditional lever, which just feels right in a vehicle with this much muscle, flanked by the drive mode and launch control buttons. There's ample storage, deep cup holders, and a wireless charging pad to keep your devices topped up. And for the audiophiles, Dodge offers an available 19-speaker Harman Kardon premium sound system. It's a phenomenal system that envelopes the cabin in rich, clear audio. It has to be powerful, if only to compete with the symphony of supercharger whine and V8 thunder coming from the engine. The overall impression from the driver's seat is one of ultimate control. Every touch point feels substantial. Every screen and button is logically placed, and every material reinforces the dual mission of this SUV: extreme performance and surprising luxury. Now, if you're enjoying this deep dive into the 2025 Durango and you're as blown away by this blend of tech and raw power as I am, do me a favor and hit that like button. And make sure you're subscribed with notifications on, because you're not going to want to miss the driving section coming up next. We've seen the cockpit, but now it's time to find out what it feels like to command it. Let's start with the second row. This model has the very desirable second row captain's chairs, which technically makes this a 6-passenger vehicle. And frankly, this is the way to go. Not only are these seats just as comfortable as the ones up front, but they create a wide pass-through to the third row, which is a game-changer for access. No more awkwardly folding and tumbling a heavy bench seat. A kid, or even a reasonably agile adult, can walk right through the middle. Let's start with the undisputed king, the main event, the supercharged 6.2-liter Hemi V8. This is the Hellcat engine. It is, no exaggeration, a masterpiece of modern internal combustion. You're looking at 710 horsepower and 645 pound-feet of torque. Those are supercar numbers that would have been unimaginable in a family SUV just a few years ago. The supercharger sitting on top is the source of that iconic, menacing whine that has become the Hellcat's signature sound. At wide-open throttle, the combination of the supercharger's scream and the V8's roar is one of the most intoxicating sounds in the automotive world. This engine transforms the Durango into a legitimate weapon, capable of a 0 to 60 sprint in a mind-bending 3.5 seconds. It'll demolish the quarter mile in about 11.5 seconds and won't stop pulling until it hits its 180-mile-per-hour top speed. And yet, it's paired with an all-wheel drive system and a chassis that's capable enough to allow for a best-in-class towing capacity of 8,700 pounds. Think about that. You can tow a sizable boat, and your tow vehicle is faster than almost everything else on the road. But Dodge gets that 710 horsepower might be a bit much for some people. That's why the Durango lineup is so brilliant. It's scalable. If you want that V8 rumble without the full Hellcat experience, you can get the R/T trim with the legendary 5.7-liter Hemi V8. This engine puts out a very healthy 360 horsepower and 390 pound-feet of torque. It still sounds fantastic, provides muscular acceleration, and handles towing duties with ease. This is the sweet spot for many buyers who want a true muscle SUV experience for daily driving. And for those who prioritize a balance of capability and efficiency, there's the standard engine. But calling it standard doesn't do it justice. The 3.6-liter Pentastar V6 is a fantastic engine in its own right, producing up to 295 horsepower and 260 pound-feet of torque. Let's be clear. This is not a slow vehicle. It has plenty of power for everyday driving and offers the best fuel economy of the bunch. Plus, even with the V6, the Durango can tow up to 6,200 pounds, which is a top figure for a V6 in its class. All three engines are paired with a smooth and responsive 8-speed automatic transmission. It can be calm and unobtrusive when you're just cruising, but can also fire off lightning-fast shifts in sport or track mode when you're pulling the paddles. This range of powertrains is what makes the Durango so appealing. It could be a capable, comfortable family SUV in the GT trim, a brawny muscle SUV in the R/T, or a world-conquering, supercar-slaying monster as the SRT Hellcat. You get to choose your own adventure. This is the moment. We've talked specs, we've explored the interior, we've admired the design. But none of it matters until you press this red start button and bring 710 horsepower to life. The sound on startup is pure theater. A loud, sharp bark that immediately settles into a deep, menacing burble. Even at idle, the car rocks just slightly, a gentle tremor reminding you of the power lying in wait. You can just feel it. Let's start by just pulling away normally. In the default auto drive mode, the Durango Hellcat is surprisingly docile. The throttle is progressive, not jerky. The transmission shifts smoothly, keeping the revs low. The ride, thanks to the Bilstein adaptive damping suspension, is firm but not punishing. It's a little stiffer than a standard SUV, sure, but you could absolutely drive this every single day and not feel beat up by it. It's quiet inside, the steering is light, and it just works. This is the Dr. Jekyll side of the car. But we're not here for Dr. Jekyll. We're here for Mr. Hyde. To unleash him, you double-tap the SRT button on the dash and select track mode. Instantly, the entire personality of the vehicle transforms. The exhaust valves open, and that low burble becomes a hard-edged angry roar. The digital dash switches to a race layout with a massive central tachometer. The suspension stiffens dramatically, the steering gains weight, and the transmission mapping becomes hyper-aggressive, holding gears right to the red line. The car is now on a hair trigger. Let's find a clear stretch of road. Come to a complete stop. Left foot hard on the brake. Right foot buries the throttle. The engine screams as the boost builds, the supercharger whining like a jet engine. The screen flashes, launch ready. I release the brake. The violence of it is breathtaking. All four tires dig into the pavement as the all-wheel drive system works its magic, and the Durango just explodes forward. Your head is thrown back into the headrest, the world goes blurry, and the noise is all-encompassing. It's a physical, visceral experience. That 3.5 second 0 to 60 time isn't just a number on a page. It's a feeling. It's a genuine recalibration of what you thought a 5,500-pound vehicle was capable of. The shifts from the 8-speed are brutally fast, each one delivering another massive wave of acceleration. It just keeps pulling relentlessly, well into speeds that are highly illegal on any public road. But straight-line speed is only half the story. The real black magic is what happens when you show it a corner. You'd expect a vehicle this big and heavy to feel clumsy and top-heavy. It doesn't. The adaptive suspension does an incredible job of managing body roll, keeping the Durango remarkably flat. You can turn into a corner with confidence, the front end grips, and the all-wheel drive system actively shuffles power around to claw you through the apex. It's an unnatural, physics-defying feeling. You're always aware of the vehicle's mass. You have to be, but the engineering that has gone into controlling that mass is nothing short of extraordinary. And when it's time to slow down, those massive Brembo brakes are always there, providing immense, fade-free stopping power that inspires huge confidence. This is the dual personality that the exterior promised. In one mode, it's a comfortable, quiet family cruiser. With the press of a button, it becomes a track-ready monster with a soundtrack to match. It's a vehicle that can soothe you on your morning commute and terrify you on a deserted back road. It is, in every sense of the word, an experience. So, after all that, we have to come back to the original question. Is the 2025 Dodge Durango truly the one SUV to rule them all? To answer that, you have to see where it sits in the market. Its competitors are a strange bunch. On one hand, you have other performance-oriented three-row SUVs like the Ford Explorer Saint. The ST is a great vehicle, but it's playing a different game. Its V6 engine is strong, but it can't hold a candle to even the 5.7L Hemi in the Durango R/T, let alone the Hellcat. On the other end, you have the high-performance German luxury SUVs, like the BMW X5M. The X5M is an engineering marvel. It's quicker around a track, it has a more prestigious badge, and its interior fit and finish are superb. But it also starts at a much higher price, only has 2 rows of seats, and arguably lacks the raw, unapologetic character of the Durango. The Durango Hellcat gives you a level of horsepower and straight-line performance that even these ultra SUVs struggle to match, often for tens of thousands of dollars less. And that's where the Durango carves out its unique space. It's a value proposition of absurdity. It offers more horsepower per dollar than almost anything else on 4 wheels, and it does it without sacrificing the utility of a 3-row family vehicle. The design is a powerful evolution of a proven formula, brought right up to date with an aggressive, modern edge. The real revolution here isn't the concept. It's the idea that you don't have to choose. You don't have to buy a sensible family car and a weekend sports car. You can have both in one single, outrageous package. This isn't the most refined SUV. It isn't the most fuel efficient. In fact, its thirst for premium fuel is legendary. And it certainly isn't the most subtle. But that's the whole point. This is an emotional purchase. It's for the person who looks at a 710 horsepower engine and thinks, yes, I need that to take my kids to school. It's for the family that refuses to compromise, the driver who refuses to grow up and slow down. For that person, for that family, the answer is a loud, resounding yes. The 2025 Dodge Durango Hellcat isn't just a great SUV, It's a landmark. It's a monument to internal combustion, a celebration of excess, and a rolling paradox. It's a family hauler with the heart of a demon. It's comfortable, it's practical, and it's utterly, brilliantly insane. It proves you can have a spacious, tech-filled, and versatile SUV that can also do a 3.5-second 0 to 60 run and tow 8,700 pounds. In a world that is increasingly moving towards silent, electric efficiency, the Durango Hellcat is a loud, proud, and defiant reminder of the joy of pure, unadulterated horsepower. It is in its own wild and wonderful way, the one SUV to rule them all. But what do you guys think? Is 710 horsepower in a three-row SUV the perfect combination of insanity and practicality, or is it just too much for the real world? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. And if you want to see more on the most powerful and exciting new cars hitting the road, make sure you're subscribed. Thanks for watching.